Is goal setting critically important for you to be a success? Hi, I'm Eli's dad with Project Eli, where we educate, lead, and inspire. And I'd like to invite you to join Eli and me as we discuss the importance of goal setting. Eli, I want to start talking about goal setting with you by telling you a story that I heard from Zig Ziglar. Zig likes to tell the story about a French naturalist that took a number of processionary caterpillars. And they're so named because what they do is they follow each other around in a procession. And he lined them up around a flower pot until they formed a never-ending circle around the flower pot. Now they started going around and around for 3 full days. And on the 4th day, he put some pine needles, now that's their preferred food, in the center of the flower pot. And they continued to go around and around for 7 full days and 7 full nights, until they literally dropped dead from exhaustion and starvation. Now, with an abundance of food less than 6 inches away, they starved to death. Why? Because they confused activity with accomplishment. Now, do you know people exactly like that? I'm talking about the people that are going here, they're going there, they got something that they have to do, but they never accomplish anything. They don't have time. Eli, we all get 24 hours a day. The difference is specific direction. The difference is being a wandering generality or a meaningful specific. Now, Eli, let me present to you let me give you some good news. Okay, here's the good news. Your boss has called you into his office. It's Thursday at 4 o'clock. He calls you into the office and he says, Eli, I've got some really good news for you and your wife. The president of the company is taking a vacation, a trip. It's not just a vacation, it's a business meeting. And he wants you to be there. Now the business meeting is in Grand Cayman, all right? That's just off of Florida. It's not that far. It's about 2.5, 3 hour plane flight. And he wants you and your wife to be there, and you're gonna be there for 4 days. Here's the little monkey wrench, Eli. The plane, which is his private plane, is leaving Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. So you have to have everything ready. You and your wife have to have everything ready by Saturday morning. You have to be at the airport at 8 o'clock ready to take off and be prepared for that trip. Can you go? Well, you give it a second thought and you say, yeah, absolutely. Grand Cayman, 4 days with the wife would be like a second honeymoon. Well, fantastic, Eli. So go call your wife and let her know about the trip and be ready to go Saturday at 8 o'clock. All right, so you call the wife, you tell her, hey, honey, I got some great news. We're going to Grand Cayman for 4 days. We're leaving Saturday at 8 o'clock in the morning. That's the deal. So we have to get everything ready. So what do? Well, when you get home, you sit down with the wife, and what's the first thing you do? You make up a list of all of the different things that you have to do to prepare. Number one, first thing is Grand Cayman's a different country. You need to find your passports. You also need to have nice business clothes. So you need to get the clothes, get them all rounded up, and then you need to go to the cleaner, and you have to go to a specific cleaner because it has to be done in 1 day. What else do you have to do? You have to prepare by let your neighbors know that you're going to be away so that they make sure that they take in the newspapers. I mean, there's all the little different things that you have to prepare to go on this trip. Now, let's take a look at that's your goal, okay? Your goal is to be there 8 o'clock, ready to rock and roll. What are the steps that you have to take in order to achieve that goal? Well, first of all, you got to identify what you want and you got to write it down. Then you got to spell out why exactly you want that goal. Well, it's kind of obvious why you want that goal. You want to spend the time with your wife and you want to be in the fabulous Cayman Islands. Then you have to list all the obstacles you have to overcome in order to get there. Then you have to identify the people, the groups, the organizations you're going to need to work with in order to get there. Then you also have to identify what you need to know to reach your goal. You have to develop a plan of action to reach that goal, and most importantly, especially in this particular case, put a date by when you're going to reach that goal. Now, if you want to go badly enough, and apparently you and your wife want to go badly enough to the Cayman Islands, you're going to get that job done. You're going to get done in 1 day what would take you normally a couple of weeks to do, but because you're motivated to do it, you're going to figure out a formula to get you from point A to point B to point C, which is point C, let's call it the Cayman Islands. Once you know the formula, you can achieve any particular goal. Now, if I said to you how much is 2 times 2, it doesn't take much thinking. But if I said to you what's 2,345 times 5,678, there aren't very many people that off the top of their head could come up with the answer. But because you know the formula, how to figure it out, you can get the job done. You see, goals create activity, and activity creates the excitement you need to reach your goals. And in order for a goal to be effective, it must affect change. A big goal creates excitement. It forces you to reach in and utilize what's there. You can go as far as you can see, and once you get there, you're always able to see further. Now, here's what prevents a lot of people from reaching their goal, and it's a great labor-saving device. The greatest labor-saving device is the word tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll do it. I refer to it as tomorrow I'll, all right? So you need to be, instead of being a wandering generality, you have to be a meaningful specific. Now, Eli, I'm going to make a bold statement to you. You remember that I was a basketball coach. You love to play basketball. You're on the team. Now, one of your favorite players, one of my favorite players is Steph Curry. Now, among Steph's great accomplishments is that he shoots better than 90%, right on the butt, right, either a little better or right there, 90% from the foul line. So he's an unbelievably good foul shooter, perhaps one of the very best that ever played the game. I'll bet you that I can take you and in 15 minutes give you 10 shots, give Steph Curry 10 shots, and in those 15 minutes, you will hit a higher percentage of foul shots than Steph Curry, provided I blindfold him and spin him around a few times and then hand him the ball and say, shoot. Why is that? Because how can you hit a target that you cannot see? How can you hit a target that you don't have? The trouble with not having a goal is you can spend your life running up and down the field, but you never score. This is why it's so important to have a target. Now, so many people live their lives in a reactionary mode. I've gone over with you ad infinitum, ad nauseum, all right, the importance of getting off to a good start and focusing on your target, focusing on your goal right away first thing in the morning. Now, I'm calling this particular episode Goal Setting 2.0. Goal Setting 101 I've already made. As a matter of fact, it was one of the very first videos. We've made about 100 videos already. We've made more than 100. It's one of the very first videos that I made. Why? Because it is so critical. Now, I'm going to include in the description box the link so that you can go back and review Goal Setting and the Success Formula. It's a playlist. It's 2 particular videos. I strongly recommend that you go back and you watch those, because in Goal Setting 101, I go over with you step by step by step by step exactly how to set your goals. Very, very important piece. I strongly recommend that you review that, as well as the Success Formula. And on our next video, what we're going to discuss is the Success Formula 2.0. And because we never end a meeting on a philosophical note, we get out there and charge! I'm Eli's dad.